So good morning, Mr. Chairman, lady and gentlemen of the council, tourism staff. My name is Ann Chambers. I'm the executive director of the Idaho RV Campgrounds Association. It's always a pleasure to come see you guys and talk to you guys about the importance of the RV and camping industry to Idaho. I'm going to make two quick notes. First of all, I'm going to talk about some facts and figures. They're all in the handout information that you'll receive, so you can take notes if you want. Secondly, when you use the terms camping, RVing, campgrounds, RV parks, they're all really used interchangeably, so whatever I say, it all means the same thing. Universally, it's called camping. If they come in a $500,000 rig, thank you. If they come in a $500,000 rig with 4 slide outs and all the conveniences of home, granite countertops, when they pull into an RV park, it's camping. So, the cover. Everybody's looking at the cover. It is not how much of the funds that you have in your region available that I'm going to ask for. It is the percentage of inquiries that come into the state for travel information that request camping information. These are the results of the programs that we do. I've got another page that kind of talks about that, but I just wanted you to see how important the RV travel market is to Idaho. So, flip over the cover for a second, but when you leave with this information, put this on top, would you? Second page has the breakdown, the amount of money that we're requesting for our grant. It's a very successful program. It's a very solid program. It targets a specific travel market niche, RVers. We're requesting this year $84,318 to do the programs that we're going to do. I'll just briefly go over them. The first element is RV Idaho. It's the most tangible thing that we do. It's our fulfillment piece. It's targeted. It's used only by RVers. It does reach more Idaho campers and those traveling to Idaho than any other publication. This year we plan to print between 110 and 120,000 of them, kind of depending on our inventory of the 2010 edition. And then we ship about 70 to 80% of them to the distribution outlets throughout the state upon requesting these so that they can distribute those. These are chamber offices, these are visitor centers, these are public campgrounds, there's all kinds. Funds in the first element, the campground directory, also help us support the state 800 number. Our second element is advertising. It's very important because this market, there are 30 million RVers on the road today. They have the money, they have the desire to travel and recreate, they want to travel. The trend will be this year for them to travel closer to home, stay longer when they reach their destination. But what we want to do with our program is to sort of maintain that top-of-mind awareness of Idaho as a great destination. So we want to put ads in the RV publications on a monthly basis, little destination ads, encouraging them to come to Idaho because they can travel anywhere. They can go anywhere. There's lots of pretty places and lots of pretty states. We want them to come to Idaho. It's been successful to market directly to RVers in RV publications. It is absolutely responsible for bringing thousands of new campers to our campgrounds every year. Last year, more than 22,000 individual requests for RV Idaho were generated through the advertising and marketing programs. If there are cuts to our budget, this is the area that gets cut. So we always appreciate when the state side steps up to that and puts some money into advertising directly to RVers in the RV publications. Our third element this year is the website. Obviously, promoting RVing to RVers who research their travel options online is a really important part of our mission. We're asking for an increase this year. We want an additional $7,500 to update and upgrade the website. Now, I will tell you, I don't do this lightly. I know that money will be cut this year. We won't have enough money, but that's back to the 35%. It's a huge market. We would like to update the website. In the back of your packets is a bid from Drake Cooper to update the website, to drive more traffic to our site, and to also drive more traffic to our campgrounds. This is an area we really don't want to cut, so we would like to be able to really do that this year. It's really important. Our website's 5 years old, so it needs tweaking. Fourth element is pretty basic. It's just the additional outreach to RVers through travel shows, rallies, fam trips. You know, it also covers some ongoing skill development through education. Our program is a proven program. It doesn't duplicate any other efforts in the state from the other regions. I want to share news facts about how strong this travel market is to Idaho and how funding the grant request is important to each region. So, I'm going to go back to this for a moment. If you look at the bottom, how I determine how much I request from each region is based entirely on collections through March this year for fiscal year 08. So if we've collected 25% of the amount of RV tax that's been collected this year, that's what I'm asking from your region. So those numbers are real numbers. They don't come out of a hat. Okay, third page I'd like you to look at. This is the state's own statistics. This is where the 35% comes from. These are not apples to apples. If you look at the top is for fiscal year FY08 to date. There's 10 months included in this year. So far, there have been 50,592 requests. Out of those, 17,709 of them were for camping information. That's the 35%. If you look at the entire year last year, the entire 12 months, it was still 21% of the requests for campground information. So the total inquiries are going to be down this year. The RV inquiries are probably going to be steady. So, you know, in anybody's book, that's a huge market. That's a step up to this year. So again, you can just kind of look at how it comes. We're the only niche market that comes anywhere near 35% of the requests. So we think it's really important. It's huge. Something that's not in there, if I run the stats, 92% of those requests were from out of state. So once again, we are attracting RVers to town. You know, does it really mean that between 21% and 35% are actually RVers and campers of the people who travel to Idaho? It really does. This is one of the statistics we try to measure. By the numbers, it's really a sizable market. But the real question is the economic impact. I kind of talk around this every year, kind of it's the elephant in the room. If the economic impact of the RV market is strictly what is brought in bed tax, you know, then the economic impact is not that big. It's going to be small, it's going to stay small. You know, the legislature years ago said part of the RV and camping industry is not going to be taxed, bed tax. You know, we're not going to change that. We don't want to go there, and we don't want to try to change that. But it's important to also include those campers and those RVers in the heads and beds. The only difference is our program puts heads in beds. They bring their own beds. Sometimes they don't get taxed, the bed tax. I'm going to encourage you to look at the broader picture of how it impacts the economy of all the regions, particularly the rural communities, hopefully to agree that funding this program makes good economic sense.